WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Well, better late than never, thanks to some technical snafus and other behind-the-scenes difficulties that I'll play it safe and just refrain from getting into. The episode that you heard, well, it didn't quite get archived, so this is kind of a quickie recap, kind of abridged, abbreviated version of what was on the air, and that way we can kind of get things going here. So we'll kind of play all the hits, go through a quick hit. I don't know how exactly to describe it. We're just going to kind of get on through it. Of course, there was the No Mercy results that had occurred from this past Sunday, and we'll quick go over those as far as the picks and how well we did here. And I have to admit, give the kid credit. Lucas bested me on that one here. Going through it, American Alpha and the Hype Bros had beat the Ascension and the Vaudevillains. We both got that pick correct. AJ Styles beating Dean Ambrose and John Cena to retain the WWE Championship. We got that one correct. One that we both kind of whiffed on, Nikki Bella beating Carmella. Also, Rhino and Heath Slater, they retained the tag team titles on SmackDown by beating the Usos. We both got that pick right. Same with Baron Corbin beating Jack Swagger. And this is where I went awry, the one pick that Lucas got and I didn't. Dolph Ziggler ended up beating The Miz to win the Intercontinental title and save his career. I thought that was going to be it for Dolph Ziggler, but, well, it turns out that Lucas got that one right, and I did not. Naomi pinned Alexa Bliss in a bonus match, so no pick was on that one. And Bray Wyatt pinning Randy Orton. We both did not get that one right. I ended up 4-3 for the pay-per-view. Lucas 5-2, although an ever so slight lead for the year here, as I'm up 58-36 to Lucas's 57-37. One pick separating the two of us. Looking into other news, notes, and otherwise here. Well, firstly, the real-life experiences of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and former WWE creative team leader Brian Gewirtz is the inspiration for a new Fox single-cam hour-long comedy pilot. That's right, Variety.com reporting that the series is produced by Johnson's 7 Bucks Productions, as well as Will Ferrell's Gary Sanchez Productions. That should be kind of interesting. Also, some sad news. Longtime pro wrestler and manager Frenchie Martin, a.k.a. Jean Gagne, died on Friday at the age of 66, according to WWE. The website bio reading, quote, "Though he began his WWE career as a competitor, Martin is best remembered for his time as the manager of the mighty Dino Bravo. Donning a brash monocle and sequined beret, Martin helped his fellow French-Canadian find success in 1987 while enraging American fans by carrying around a sign that read, 'USA is not okay.' Martin's ringside antics made him a memorable face of the WWE in the late 1980s despite a relatively brief run. So, condolences going out to Frenchie Martin passing away. Also, this is a bit of a twist here. Anthem Sports and Entertainment Corporation, the parent company of Fight Network, confirmed that it recently made a working capital loan to fund the operations of TNA Impact Wrestling. Fight Network is a licensee of TNA programming for broadcast in the United States, Canada, and other international markets, and is also the exclusive licensee of TNA for streaming internet-delivered TV. Fight Network has also offered to provide TNA Impact Wrestling with funding to repay the loans made by Mr. Billy Corgan and is positioned to provide additional transitional assistance to the company. Interesting. In a quote from Anthem CEO Leonard Asper, he says, "TNA is a strong property for Fight Network, and as a licensee and global distribution partner, we have a keen interest in seeing the company not only survive, but continue to grow and thrive alongside our own growth. We are hopeful that the company can soon get back to doing what it does best, which is to produce great wrestling content." End quote. This should be some interesting developments going forward. All that with TNA and now Anthem involved. Meanwhile, speaking of TNA, Anthem, and whatnot, on the other end of things with Billy Corgan, since he was mentioned in the story there, the hearing regarding the lawsuit that Billy Corgan filed against TNA and 3 company executives has been postponed. The Nashville Chancery Court records list the new hearing as being set for Wednesday, October 26th at 1 p.m. by agreement of counsel, whatever that means. For those who missed it, Corgan filed a lawsuit against Dixie Carter, her husband Serge Salinas, TNA Impact Wrestling, its parent company Impact Ventures LLC, and TNA Chief Financial Officer Dean Broadhead. Corgan also filed a temporary restraining order bond and applied for a temporary injunction against TNA. The bad news seems to continue here as the American Express Travel-Related Services Company sued TNA in New York for $269,049.50 in travel expenses, according to the Wrestling Observer website. The company is also seeking legal expenses as part of the lawsuit. Man, I'm starting to wonder if maybe this was by design, as not a lot of good news this week, at least not a lot of positive news. And that goes pretty much across the board here, including with WWE, where the developmental signee Terrence Jean-Jacques was arrested on Sunday and later charged with several crimes, including allegedly striking his pregnant girlfriend. Oh, man. The Eagle Tribune of Massachusetts reports that Jean-Jacques has been charged with assault and battery, kidnapping, witness intimidation, destruction of property, and threatening to commit a crime. Now, WWE's policy indicates that a charge or arrest for domestic assault leads to a suspension, and a conviction leads to immediate termination. So we'll have to stay tuned for that one. Okay, here we go. Some good news here. The controversial wrestling couple Paige and Alberto El Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio, are engaged to be married. That's right, Paige popped the question in the ring at a World Wrestling Council event in Puerto Rico on Sunday. Paige is still employed by WWE, while Del Rio negotiated his release from WWE 6 weeks ago. And speaking of Paige, WWE issued a statement to the New York Post last week regarding her suspension. Quote, "Soraya Jade Bevis tested positive for an illegal substance, not a prescription drug. In addition, WWE is providing world-class medical care for her in-ring injury." So I guess that's the way to kind of get them off of the proverbial hook, I suppose. And finally, Chris Jericho announcing via Twitter that his band Fozzy signed a new record deal with Century Media. The band has released its 2 previous records through the same label. Fozzy's last record was released in 2014. The new record is expected to be released sometime in 2017. Some other things of note: the day is finally here at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Hoppy Halloween 3, a beer fest that celebrates the best libations available in Bucks County and the surrounding areas. Now remember, it's a ticketed event, so the tap room won't be open as usual due to the event and will be closed tomorrow to recover. That being said, it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. And also make sure to check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as at monsterfactory.org, and check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. Coming soon to the MF Network, Monday Night Monsters. And, well, yeah, since we're just, again, this is a very abbreviated version here, we're just going to kind of get right into them all in one go here. Of course, today in wrestling history, October 22nd. On this date in 1995, the WWF holding its In Your House 4 Great White North pay-per-view, where the British Bulldog defeated WWF champion Diesel by disqualification. That's right, that was right in the midst of In Your House being kind of a new concept that would go on for maybe about another year, a little over a year or so. On this date in 2000, the WWF held its No Mercy pay-per-view, where in the main event, Kurt Angle pinned The Rock in a no disqualification match to win the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, in 2003 in this date, the NWA TNA held weekly pay-per-view number 66, where Jeff Jarrett pinned AJ Styles in the main event to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And finally, on this date in 2006, TNA held its Bound for Glory pay-per-view, where in the main event, Sting defeated Jeff Jarrett in a title versus career match with Kurt Angle as guest referee to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. That was a look at today in wrestling history for October 22nd, and sans Lucas, it is time for birthdays. Four for you, plus the Brucey bonus looking outside the world of wrestling. On this date in 1942, Pedro Morales was born, the former WWF champion, Intercontinental Heavyweight champion, Tag Team champion, and 1995 WWF Hall of Famer, turned 74 today. On this date in 1943, Alan James Coage was born. The Olympic judo bronze medalist, former Stampede Wrestling and WWF star, and winner of the WrestleMania 4 Battle Royal, known both as Bad News Brown and Bad News Allen, passed away in 2007 from a heart attack. On this date in 1945, Bill Apter was born, the longtime wrestling journalist and author of Is Wrestling Fixed? I Didn't Know It Was Broken, turns 71 today. And on this date in 1970, A.C. Julius Connor was born, the former WWF Intercontinental Champion and four-time European Champion, and former guest here on the show known as D'Lo Brown, turns 46 today. And this is usually where Lucas would pull a page from the OSW Review page book or playbook and say, "Damn it, D'Lo." Yeah, look at OSWReview.com. You'll just look up "Damn it, D'Lo." You'll get it all there. But nothing. Yeah, we got love here for D'Lo Brown, and not only a former guest on the show here, but Monster Factory alum as well. And finally, the Brucey bonus. On this date in 1938, Christopher Allen Lloyd was born. The comedic actor from movies including Clue, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Suburban Commando, and best known from the Back to the Future trilogy, as well as the TV series Taxi, turns 78 today. What does a yellow light mean? That's another one to look up. That was hysterical. I won't give it away, nor will I attempt to recreate it because I don't have his comedic timing, but just look up Taxi, what does a yellow light mean? And trust me, you'll be thankful for it. Anyway, until next week, for more hilarity, I'm Fearon Derry saying thanks for tuning into Pro Wrestling Weekly. Apologies for the delay on getting this up to you here. And, until next week, we're back in studio. Well, no Nutsy here, so